Broadcasting more than 2,000 games live and archived in 15 sports in over 10 counties in western Pennsylvania, as well as being the exclusive home for all the WPIHL playoffs and championships for nearly 2 decades. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Welcome to PIHL Hockey 2017 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. High school hockey at tribhssn.triblive.com is sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlow University, by Dollar Bank, by AstroTurf, by Chick-fil-A Robinson, by WQED, and by Trib Total Media. Now let's head ringside for all the high school hockey action only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Very pleasant good evening. We welcome you to Kirk Nevin Ice Arena. Very pleasant good evening. We welcome you to Kirk Nevin Ice Arena in Greensburg, Pennsylvania for continuing coverage of the 2017-18 PIHL hockey season right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. This evening, it is a matchup in Class AA as the Hempfield Spartans, with a 5-2 0-1 mark on the year, 11 points, take on the Mars Fighting Planets, 5-5 0-0 on the year, 10 points for Steve Meyer's Fighting Planets. Coach Meyer's not with Mars tonight, so there's a bit of a storyline right off the start as we welcome you here to Greensburg, along with Rennie Detore. I'm Josh Rowntree, and Rennie, you look at these two teams. Very sort of similar goes of it so far. You have both teams with good starts, a 5-0 start for Hempfield, but they have lost their last 3, including 1 in a shootout. And then on the other side for Mars, they were able to win 5 of their first 6, but have now lost 4 straight. So a pair of teams that are in a very similar predicament now as they enter tonight's game.
Yeah, and Josh, when you talk to the respective coaching staffs, it's kind of the coach speak to some degree, but it certainly makes sense. When we play our game and we do things well that we're supposed to, we win. And when we don't do those things, we lose. So, really, again, it's been 2 completely different teams for each half of this first half of the season.
Just about set here. The first game tonight was a win for Chartiers Valley, 5-2 over Greensburg Salem in Class 1A. The doubleheaders we're doing tonight, and early on, a good shot on net for Hempfield's Jared Gerger. He's their leading scorer on the year with 10 points. And now the puck exits back out into the neutral zone. On it is Will Searcy, the leading scorer of the Fighting Planets. That'll go down for an icing call. Just 20 seconds in. Danny Mitchell is the goaltender for Mars tonight. Has played every minute for them this year. 10 on the other side. Nolan Farid is the goaltender for Hempfield, and he has played every minute for them as well. 5-2, 0-1 the mark for him on the season. 1 shutout, 320 the goals against, 893 save percentage, and there is Farid on his first save of the game as this Hempfield team comes in. And you look at some certain things that they do well. They take the fewest amount of penalties in Class AA. They only have 70 penalty minutes so far this year. And they also have the best power play in the AA classification as well. So a pretty solid couple of teams we're going to see here tonight. And obviously Mars, great history and have hit some tough times of late. One of their assistants telling us, with Steve Myers not here, and it was Mike Heltman, said that he can't remember the last time Mars had a 4-game losing streak. And I said that's probably a sign of a pretty good program then, if you can't remember a 4-game losing streak. Mars is wearing the dark blue uniforms with the yellow numbers and trim, the big M on the front. Hempfield wearing the white home uniforms with the blue numbers. There's a shot on net that came from the right side. That was Matthew Bardis. He has 9 points on the year. just skipped wide. It goes all the way back down, and Nolan Faree will play the puck.
Yeah, that shot by Bardis, it kind of bounced a little bit as it went to the net.
Faree
almost tough to handle there for Danny Mitchell.
Sorry, Rennie. Faree last year went 9-5-1, 317 the goals against, 884 save percentage a year ago. Now walking out with some space. Good shot on, rebound attempt. The initial shot by Jared Gerger. A good opportunity right in front of the cage. That was Kane Mills that got in after it. Applied some pressure. Good speed for both teams. Look out, here's a 2-on-1. Cersei down the right wing, has Roach with him. Tried to get it over. Now he tries for a second time on a backhand, and it's stolen away. Taken by Jacob Anderson, the captain of the Spartans. And it's stolen by Roach.
It's offsides.
And offsides coming into the zone is Patrick Roach.
Boy, what a golden opportunity early on, that 2-on-1, but Mars could not capitalize on it. Good defense, too, from Hempfield in that second attempt on that crossing pass.
Face-off draw. In the dot outside of the zone. Coming back after it is Ethan Grant. He lost control of it. Now with it wearing the 88 is Connor Lawrence. Lays it off to Nick Coziera. Coziera going to bank it down. Cozieras, there's been a couple of them now at Hempfield, have had really nice careers. Good players. This puck is ladled back over to the near side, and banking it off the near side boards is Grant. Now behind the net, bounces around. Steve Myers, we mentioned, the head coach of Mars, not here due to suspension, still serving a suspension for an incident earlier in the season. So assuming the role of head coach will be Steve Tracy as that puck goes into the opposing bench. And Hempfield's side, Steve Tracy and Mike Heltman are the acting assistants here. Mike Manganello as well.
Yeah, they kind of went with the assisting of the assisting.
By committee, if you will.
Sure.
Steve's been around a long time. You wouldn't think when you look at him, but he got the job very young. He's still a fairly young guy, but he has been the coach now for a very long time. There's a hard check by Anderson on Taylor's. Taylor hit the deck. Jared Taylor went down kind of awkwardly into the boards. Now this puck turned over. Newman going to feed it back into the left circle. Now Newman gets it back, dancing with the puck, and he'll drop it off to Kiefer. And it's going to be centered, but all the way back down the ice it goes, and Braden Hanna, he of the many Hannas, it seems, to play at Mars. There's been a couple of them as well over the years. Mars always strong with the brothers. And this puck is put on net, and boy, it was bouncing around, nearly came free for Jared Taylor.
It's an awkward exchange. Taylor just kind of flung it to the net, but it bounced and almost went over the stick of
puck in their own zone. Trent Gray knocks it up ahead. Gray 7 assists. Oh, big collision right at center red. Hanna got mixed up with Gerger, and they both went flying. Here's Hanna back on it, number 32. Dishes it ahead, takes another big check from Jared Gerger. Keep an eye on that as we go. Those two guys twice in a row with massive collisions.
Gerger jumps up with a smile on his face, and I'm not sure why or how.
Oh, here's a puck in and out of the glove. Getting back on it and trying to put one home. Not quite able to was Patrick Roach. Knocked down here, and sliding back with it is Mills. Mills tried to leave it off for Trzynski. Now Mills back on it, but he gets the puck rubbed away. On a Reimer. Back to the near side, and picking it up is Mars, and they'll sling it back down. As Pucciarelli ices the puck, and 11:51 to play here in this first period. No score between Mars and Hempfield. Mars coming off a 3-0 loss at home to Franklin Regional. Their fourth loss in a row. In that game, Danny Mitchell only saw 17 shots, but they gave up 3 goals, were not able to score, and scoring has been a problem so far for Mars this season. They are scoring just 2.4 goals per game. That is a very low mark in high school hockey. To be 5-5 with a mark like that is actually kind of a testament to their defense and goaltending. Sure. Stealing the puck here and nearly getting a shot towards the cage was Bardis, but it hit a leg on the way through and stumped back out to center ice. Isaiah Forsyth going back for it. Wasselson going to get called with the hand pass here for Mars.
So according to the score sheet, Hempfield has yet to register a shot on goal. Mars 3-0 advantage there, and really, Mars has had the best scoring opportunities of both teams. Of course, that one that just kind of flip-flopped around the Hempfield goal almost went in, just caught a little bit of that stick of Free.
Look at Mars so far in the year. They scored 8 goals their first time out. That was a win over Montour, who's really struggled this year. It's an 8-0 win. But then they scored 1 goal against Upper St. Clair, 1 goal against Hampton. That was a win in a shootout, by the way. So really they didn't score any goals in that game, but were able to win 1-0 via the shootout. Scored 5 in a shootout win over North Hills. The offense has gone somewhat silent of late. Here's a shot back on the net and a save made by Faree. Hempfield struggling to clear their own zone. It's been down the left side of the rink so far, but a good little poke check away, and walking in is Bardis. Bardis, good shot on rebound attempt. No one there, though, to get a clean swat at it for Hempfield. Now back comes Hannah with it. Hannah down the right wing, has Taylor with him, gives it off, though. Now a leave off again, and a shot rings off the inside of the post. Rebound attempt. There's a couple of good looks there in close, particularly by Nick Kiefer, who almost had his 4th goal of the year.
Good push there by Mars.
A back out, oh my, huge collision. Hannah and Connor Lawrence collided. They got tied up and just flying through the air.
Yeah, Lawrence got
Connor
the
Lawrence.
Worst. He got the worst end of that deal.
They're going to call interference on Hannah. So Braden Hannah to the box. 7:01 the time of the penalty.
Probably good for the Spartans to get on a power play here. They really haven't done much offensively. Probably could use a break too from this Mars offense as well.
We have seen some massive hits so far.
Very physical.
By both sides. First chance at the power play here. Scramble forward in the corner. Stepping out is Hulbert with it. Hulbert, though, lost control, stolen away. Shot towards the cage, went just wide for Gerger.
Good job by Jacob Anderson, too, to keep that in front of him, in front of the blue line.
Now a play on a setup by Gerger in front for Kane Mills, and he missed the cage to the right side. Trying to get after it is Cersei.
Chippy between these two teams here.
Yeah, no question. This has the makings of maybe a more penalty-filled game than the last one we saw, that's for sure.
Bad turnover there by Gerger. Good job by the Spartans to keep it in, though.
Here's Gerger with it, right side of the cage. Shot went high as it deflected on the way through. Still no score. Murphy dump all the way back down the ice. And stepping back will be Nick Coziera.
Spartans are going to have about 30 seconds for one more rush here on the power play.
Coziera takes a shoulder check from Roach, but stepping free with it is Bardis. Bardis dishes it off. They'll try to set something up. Left point, Anderson waits. Low shot, never got through. And getting over to it is Ryan Norris. Norris pinched down on it at the blue line, and it deflects up into the Mars bench.
Only about 12 seconds on the power play for the Spartans.
Mars last year went 7-10-2. They lost to Latrobe 5-4 in the playoffs. As with it is Grant. Grant going to dump it down, and Mars going to try to exit the zone. Now a dish off here is intercepted behind the net. Boy, a pretty good opportunity for Bartis, but couldn't quite corral the puck.
Yeah, he was actually turned around the wrong way.
Taylor was spinning around there, lost control. Sent in by Fighting Planets. Back after it, Finn. Hudson Finn without a point on the year. Another puck up into the Mars bench for Hempfield a year ago, 10-8-1, beat Mount Lebanon 5-2, then lost to the eventual champion, the Plum Mustangs, 5-2 in the semifinals. They lost some talented players, though, from that team, particularly Christian Gorsak, 15 goals, 24 assists. Mario Colosi gone as well. And some good talent that left this team. They did bring back Nick Coziera, though, who had 19 points. High shot, save made, and cleared out. Now skating with it and getting a check for it was Harley Obruchka.
Yeah, and really, Josh, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but it feels like Mars has really been the aggressor in this first period. Hempfield's had some decent opportunities. Of course, 0 for 1 on the power play, but really the Fighting Planets have dictated the pace in this first period.
Obruchka in there after, trying to win the puck, but cannot. And here's Anderson. Anderson got a low check from Roach and then gives Roach a shot in the back, and that's going to be a penalty. It's a bit light of a call, but it's also a player that doesn't have the puck.
Yeah.
And it's well away from the play. So I think officials trying to set a tone maybe.
Well, I mean, I kind of like that idea behind the referees taking control of this game. It's been pretty brutal this first period. So the Mars contingency here disagreeing, as you would expect them to.
So the penalty on Jacob Anderson. Not good to have your captain do that as well. You can't have your leader be goaded into a penalty. Here's a good chance back the other way, and a shot on by Taylor. Jared Taylor's been very active here. Here he is again. Low shot, hit a skate on the way through. Now a turning play. Still it's free in front, and then it comes free, and putting it home is Sean Newman. Hello, Newman, his third goal of the year.
Yeah, it couldn't get any easier for Newman there. The wide open net, the puck just kind of squirted out from a scrum right on Newman's stick, and Nolan Ferry was just not much he could do, was out of position. He was following, the bodies to his left, and his right was wide open. Nice job there by Newman, and Mars up 1-0.
It'll be a power play goal.
Josh, it's funny, they didn't have the power play up for Mars, and they have
Maybe
two guys.
They did take
one
somebody
in
else
for Hempfield and one in the penalty box for Mars. So
they took both of them.
Yeah, I think it was a penalty on each team. So it was not a power play, I believe.
And coincidental minors too, because we are skating 5-on-5. So
right,
even strength goal. My mistake. I did not see the extra player in. Is that early goal after the penalty? So player aside.
Well, you just watch Mars right now. They're just really controlling this game. They're all over the place, and Hempfield just can't seem to get anything going. Every time they get a little bit of momentum at center ice, Mars defensively is right there to shut it off. That one won't be icing, was hit a stick.
Kiefer's going to get credit with the 1 assist. I was not able to hear the primary. Here's Hanna in after it. And there were 2 penalties called, the coincidentals. Well, we'll get those to you in a moment. The man in the box, by the way, for Mars, as that goes for icing, is Patrick Roach. There was a cross-checking call on Anderson, but not sure of the penalty on Roach.
Try to get that for you here in a second.
All right, no worries. Face off to the left on. Will Searcy going to take it. Searcy, the leading scorer for Mars this year with 5 goals, has 7 assists to lead the team as well, 12 points.
It's a slashing call on Roach, Josh.
Okay. So each way.
That Newman goal Jared Taylor and Nick Kiefer got assists on that.
Okay. Jared Taylor mentioned thought he had been pretty active in the early going, gets an assist. And Nick Kiefer as well.
Newman's 3rd goal on the season.
I think important for Mars to get that first goal.
But really watching the play, you can't really be surprised that they were the first ones to notch a goal.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know, shots are now even 4 apiece. But
Doesn't
really
feel
feels,
it though, yeah.
I would say it really feels like, you know, Mars has just kind of been in the driver's seat. Hempfield just stalls out completely when they get to center ice. Most of their shots on goals have been kind of just, you know, flip it toward the Mars goal and easy saves for Mitchell.
At the 5th shot of the game for Mars, comes back out right side, high shot. That was let go by Hudson Finn. The collision, Cersei laying a shoulder into Connor Lawrence, and then it's banked back around far side where Trent Gray picks it up and then slings one all the way back down. Gonna have to be played here, look out. And it's back into the goaltender in Danny Mitchell, who the puck was moving pretty quickly, tried to get the blocker down on it and ended up ricocheting back out a little bit too high for him.
Yeah, and that was a good effort from Connor Lawrence, though, from the Spartans. I mean, he was all over that puck. Mitchell was a little slow on that reaction. Probably didn't think Lawrence was going to be that much of a factor, but he was.
Right point, banked back around by Mills. Now comes back out. This is Grant with it. Grant trying to just sort of finesse one on forward and hit a stick. Now with it is Konechka.
It's a good job back out. Mars has done a nice job clearing that puck and not giving Hempfield a whole lot of good looks in front of the net.
Hulbert took it towards the net, his own net, a little, I think, too close for comfort for Danny Mitchell, who I think his eyes got big when he saw his own man walking towards him.
That's an excuse me teammate look.
Jacob Hulbert. It's fed up ahead, in stride, going after it.
You know, Josh, even on that power play that the Spartans had, they really still didn't feel like they set up well in that offensive end. Didn't really not have any really good opportunities. And again, this Mars defense has been suffocating at times.
Trying to center as Hempfield stolen away by Braden Hanna. Here is Hanna. 2-on-3, now 3-on-3 as he enters the zone, but they are offside as Braden's brother Keaton, one of the top players a year ago, their second leading scorer, 32 points. Actually, was tied for the team lead with 32 points. Noah Raimundo lost as well. He had 32, and maybe more importantly, they lost their #1 goaltender, Tyler Sprang, who had a terrific career at Mars. But that said, Danny Mitchell's been pretty solid for them in the early going.
Yeah, really hasn't faced a lot of duress, but he's been able to stop what he's seen. 5 shots on goal against Mitchell. Same for Faree. Of course, the 1 goal let up by Faree.
Yeah. Jam at the puck, and now a whistle blows. I think we're going to get a penalty here. We are. A cross-check is the call from the corner.
It's going to go against the Spartans, I believe.
And that is the second penalty now on Jacob Anderson. Second cross-checking penalty, too.
So 2:17 left to go here in the first period, and 2-minute power play for Mars already up 1-0 and really in control of this first period. So very big penalty kill for the Spartans. Certainly don't want to go into that first period break down 2.
Man slips and falls, and that's because he was tripped, and that's going to be a penalty on Mars.
That's a quick way to end a power play.
So they will go off. That's going to be Hunter Reimer, that heads to the penalty box. Just few seconds after the other side took a penalty. Mars takes one as well.
So 4-on-4 for a little bit.
Collision on the near side.
Boy, Jared Gerger just absolutely crushed Patrick Roach. Some creative fans to my right with the how the ice tastes. It's a good one.
This game has been nothing if not physical in the early going.
Yeah, really. I mean, and Hempfield really trying to kind of establish themselves a little bit in that respect.
Oh, how about Gerger walking and getting a shot off through multiple blue jerseys? He was able to get a good shot on net. Good save by Mitchell.
Yeah, probably Mitchell's best save of the first period. Again, he's really faced a lot of like longer shots, more like from the blue line or just beyond, closer to center. So it really hasn't had to make any spectacular saves.
Behind the cage, Braden Hanna with it. Circles it back to the near side. Picked up by Gerger. Shot on, hit stick on the way through and almost redirected towards the goal.
Little spark here from Hempfield.
Collision as Hanna got run into. All the way back down. Icing waved off. Ladled ahead by Mills. Mills behind the cage and Bardis with it. Bardis tried to get one in front. Gerger couldn't come up with it. Our two players tied up as Hulbert got mixed up with Forsyth. Now a low shot, and it's blocked aside. Kiefer in after it, but with it is Forsyth, and he'll bank it around, but it's intercepted. Low shot on, hit a stick of Kiefer, and he gets a backhander off and a save made by Farid.
Yeah, good work there by Farid, cutting that angle down on that shot. Didn't leave any room to move as he went all the way to his left. Farid's had to stop some pretty decent shots in this first period from Mars. They've had a lot of good attempts, have the Fighting Planets. Of course, Farid just letting in that one, but really not much he could do on that. It was a wide open net to his right.
Fanning on it, but still able to play it ahead is Bardis. They're looking to get it to Coziera, but he can't quite win it. Now back to Bardis. Bardis low shot. It's deflected back to the far side of the rink, and Drew Mull watches it go by. Nolan Farid out to get it. And that'll take us to the end of period number one. The goal by Sean Newman is the difference. Jared Taylor and Nick Kiefer with the assists. We played 17 minutes here in Greensburg. 1-0. Mars leads Hempfield on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDrivesYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Record-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
Back to action here for period number 2 in Greensburg, and an early shot on goal for Mars is frozen by Nolan Faree. Along with Rennie Detore, I'm Josh Rowntree here in Kirk Nevin Ice Arena. One of my favorite rinks to go to, and it's really only because of the temperature in the rink, where this shot is on net and almost was able to be deflected in. It's very comfortable, though, in here compared to several other rinks throughout Western PA. A good pass here by Cersei up the left side of Roach. And with it is Lander now. Lander lost an edge, went down, and Trent Gray gets to it. Anderson has taken a couple of penalties so far, the captain of this Hempfield team. Player tripped up in the middle of the ice. Offsides is whistled.
Yeah, you mentioned this being a warmer place. You have to tell it to my left hand, which basically stopped working like 20 minutes ago. But I guess I just have to get acclimated to the rink scene again.
Yeah, it's certainly.
But I have been in other places that have been, I mean, just bitterly cold.
Airport Ice Arena, which is not being used anymore. That was the most notorious. Did a game once, it was 65 degrees outside, so I dressed like it was going to be 65 degrees.
Big mistake.
It was about 24 degrees in it inside of Airport. There's Taylor in after it. Getting a bump from behind is Isaiah Forsythe. Morris digging away, comes free to Morris. Morris looked to throw one towards the net. Now Newman back on at the goal scorer. Sean Newman. Coming free is Kiefer. Low shot, save made. And fanning on it. Gerger nearly came away with it as Morris couldn't get enough on it. Now Newman back. Dumps it in. Hempfield coming off a loss to Quaker Valley 5-2. So they get the two rivals back-to-back, Mars and Quaker Valley. So that'll go all the way down for icing. Mars, again, as we mentioned, the 3-0 loss to Franklin Regional. Both teams, actually Mars playing a week ago. It's been a while for Hempfield. They have not played since November 30th. Long break for them. Shot off the draw and getting the blocker up was Faree.
Well, after that first period, see if Hempfield can get their legs back underneath them, because they didn't really do a whole lot. Kind of felt like they were still on break.
Pass chipped ahead. Pucciarelli got to it. Now a collision far side right in front of the Hempfield bench. Tie up here, Pucciarelli in there. Trent Gray, this game getting a little bit sloppy right now. Neither team able to get up and down the rink. With it is Reimer, though. Reimer with some speed. Throws one towards the cage and out of the catching mitt of Faree. Reimer nearly had it back. Good job keeping it in by Finn. Now Reimer. Finn dumps it way up high. Over into the corner where Anderson has it. Jacob Anderson, 4 goals on the year. Turning shot back, and it'll come to the near side boards. Long pass ahead. Looking for Reimer. Stolen away. Coziera. Coziera cross rink to Anderson. And Anderson banks it around to Coziera again. Pucciarelli in there, though, after him. Sent back out. And a backhander on, and hit an arm, it looked like, on the way through of Hudson Finn, maybe, and almost went into his own goal.
Yeah, that shot by Drew Mull was just kind of a floater, but almost got redirected. Mitchell lost it just a second.
This Puck all the way back down. Now it's on the near side where Obruchta has it. Obruchta tried to center one, and then it comes free, and on net, the shot by Forsythe. Glove down, save made by Mitchell.
So second period, a little different for the Spartans. They're actually matching Mars quite well with ice time in the opposing team's end. It was the best series for Hempfield in this game.
This rink here, the home of Latrobe, Greensburg Central Catholic, Greensburg Salem, and Hempfield. Hempfield's been a while since they've tasted success. They have never won an open class or a pure classification outright championship. This puck's brought to the near side, now turning and firing one back across is Taylor.
Faree came all the way out of the goal to handle that puck and actually had a little trouble with it. Luckily, nothing doing for Mars.
Face-off going to come to the left circle. Mentioned for Hempfield, they have not quite had the championship type success. They have had some really good teams though these last couple of years. For Mars, 4 Penguins Cups, all coming since 2009, including 3 in a row. There's a low shot on. Boy, it hit the pipe, it looked like, behind.
It did.
Nolan Faree.
Got just under Faree. Little late reacting to it. It did hit the pipe behind him, but
look out, big collision here. Is getting a stick maybe up high. Was the man walking in with the puck and scoring.
That was Gerger.
And it is Jared Gerger. He got a big collision on the near side boards.
Yeah,
was
what a
reaching up
recovery.
with his face and then looked down and had the puck and walked in and sniped it home.
Yeah, good recovery there from Gerger, to your point. Took a massive check against the boards and right in front of us. And I actually thought Josh, he was holding his head like he was going to go off.
Right.
And he skates just in front of the blue line and walks it in with a great shot. Put it right over the right shoulder of Danny Mitchell.
Tied at 1 and then coming back the other way, Faree makes a good save. So Jared Gerger with his team leading 11th goal of the year.
Yeah, and really see Gerger coming back in.
Here he is. Gerger again.
Just missed the net.
Now here he is one more time. Put one on. And
I think that shot to the boards maybe woke him up a little bit. Holy cow.
Trzynski tried to get to it, and then a turning shot off the post. As that was Kane Mills, and now puck back in front, and Mills doesn't miss on the second try.
Trent Gray with a nice shot from the blue line, and Mills there with the rebound.
Sounded the horn from the far side.
Yeah, not sure what that was about.
Me neither.
Boy, I tell you what a great recovery in the second period by Hempfield. Momentum has swung in their direction. Big face-off win there. Kozera walked that one in and almost had a nice open shot, and he has a puck back
Look
now.
out. Kozera had a chance. Cannot hear who they gave the assist to on the goal, but we'll get that checked on as this puck is up high and into the rafters. So Mills with the goal, his 4th of the season. .10:40 left here in the second period. It's 2-1. Hempfield a pair of quick goals coming 35 seconds apart.
Yeah, that assist was Trent Gray. He took that shot from the blue line.
There's a low shot through traffic. As with the screen in front was Tristan Lander.
It's a good job by Mitchell picking that puck up. I don't think he saw it, Josh, until the very end. was able to get down and make that stop. The surge from the Spartans has come out of nowhere after the very, I guess the best we can put it, a very sluggish first period.
Yeah. Trent Gray, his team leading 8th assist on the year. Pretty good for a defenseman.
Now all of a sudden Mars is having trouble getting the puck out of their own end defensively.
Yeah, a little jump here for the Spartans. Offensively. Tie up on the right side. High stick playing the puck. Newman coming down for it. Konechka in there for Hempfield. Here's Konechka turning with it. Lifted off for Nick Lippa. All the way back around for Christian Konechka. He'll just funnel it up the far side. Excuse me, that's Bardis now with it. Now Konechka. Konechka dancing. 2 bodies on him. Battle in the corner. Lippa in after it, and it comes free. Trying to walk to the front of the net. Still after it is Ethan Grant. Now 2 players tied up. Back behind the play. One without a stick. Back the other way is Taylor, and a blocker save made by Faree.
Good shot by Taylor, though.
Too many men on the ice, I believe, is going to be the call here on Mars.
Yeah, you're right.
.741 the time of the penalty. Too many men.
So big opportunity for the Spartans with the man advantage now. Up 2-1. 2 unanswered goals here in the second period. See if they can add to their lead. So we saw this in the first period where Hempfield was down 1-0 and had to kill off a power play from Mars at that very tail end of the first period and was able to do so. Actually, I take that back. It was a couple seconds into that power play from Mars when they committed a penalty. So certainly the Planets don't want to go down 3-1 here.
So they'll finally send a player into the box. Will Mars, that'll be Pat McCann to serve. The bench penalty. Off the near side and blasted in, and then getting a shot was Gerger into the near side boards. But Gerger has just been getting annihilated. We have a penalty coming up here. And an interference call coming. It's odd. The official put the arm up, and then I'm not sure if maybe the official didn't realize that Hempfield had the puck, but he was letting them skate for probably 3 or 4 seconds there before he
a little delayed reaction.
Yeah.
So similar to the first period when Mars was on a power play, they committed a penalty. Now Hempfield on the power play, and they commit a penalty. So 2 mirrors of each other between the first and second period now. So we'll play 4-on-4.
Did not hear the penalty call, and now a penalty coming up. Roach and Gerger got mixed up. Now Roach up ahead, and the puck will get touched by Hempfield.
Well, that was Kane Mills that was called for interference. So what started out as a pretty clean second period, Josh, has turned very sloppy very quickly.
Well, Mills is going to have company in the box now.
Yeah, I think that was Gerger that's going to be sitting next to him.
Yeah.
So now 4-on-3 advantage for Mars. That's the 8th penalty of this game.
The very rare 4-on-3. Here's Hanna. High sticking. Back right side, Hanna, a shot, hit a stick on the way through, came free in front of the net, and picking it up is Coziera, and he'll clear it out of the danger zone.
Boy, Sean Newman, that loose puck just missed his stick, Josh. If it would have even just came and tapped it, he could have just popped it right in. close call there.
Here's Hannah.
Hempfield.
All of a sudden, Mars on the power play after having to kill just moments ago. Power play not very good this year for Mars. And here's a shot by Finn that's swallowed up. The power play hitting at just under 10% on the year. You look at the other side, Hempfield's power play the best in all of AA at 29% this season.
You mentioned penalty minutes. Hempfield only 70 coming into this game. You look at Mars, though, 224 penalty minutes. So I kind of expect that from the Planets.
Hempfield trying to clear it out. Someone's on the puck. It's Hannah. Now a long pass up ahead. Basket hanging a bit is Gray. And Gray not able quite to corral that puck. And now Cersei has it poked away by Gray. Gray going to throw this on the net.
You don't see too many shots on goal when it's 4-on-3 and you're the team with 3.
Finn leaves it off. Will Cersei gets a big check. Right back up to his feet. Cersei with it. Shot high. Might hit a shoulder of Faree. Just over 7 to play here in the period. 2-1 to score, and a play in the slot. Got over to Finn, but he couldn't get a shot on net. Hannah dumps it around.
5-on-4 for Mars for about 13 seconds. See if they can get one more shot off potentially.
Cersei left point, put it on. Oh, and a redirect hits off the right bar. Now put back attempt for Roach goes wide.
Boy, Faree caught a break on that one. That one bounced right over his left shoulder, but hit the crossbar.
Puck comes out to middle ice. Hannah with it. It'll give and go, but Hannah wasn't ready for it. Gerger in after it. Gerger again getting the stick up high. Two players get their skates tied up. And here comes Cersei back the other way. Shot. This is wide. Roach. Bank it up the far side. Stolen away. Look out. Here's Gerger trying to split the D, but cannot. Morris, good defensive play. Gerger trying to get after him. All tied up. Multiple players getting shoved down to the ice.
I think I just saw a fireman's carry takeover over there in the corner.
It's Gerger and Morris and company in on that. Back with it is Taylor. Taylor a low shot and swallowing it up in the pads is the netminder Faree, and two Planets players go crashing to the ice.
So things for Faree getting a little precarious back there, but he did a nice job standing tall, particularly with his team down to 3 players on that 4-on-3, but he did a nice job turning away the Planets.
Face-off draw to the right circle. Going in after it is Forsyth. Forsyth swoops behind his cage. Kicks one up ahead. How about that? Reception of the puck by Lander. Player fell down for Mars. Lander walks it in, his shot high. That was something.
Somehow
he put the skate up, and that was Crosby-esque how he took that. And now a play off the end boards, then put back on, and it doesn't go in.
Wow. Jared Taylor had nothing but wide open net.
And then Taylor went somersaulting to the ice. I think he just lost an edge, but now there's going to be a penalty called on Hempfield in front. This game really a sloppy, kind of bizarre, twisting turn it's been taking.
You know, it's almost like Hempfield is kind of coming down to where, you know, Mars is from a penalty standpoint. You know, Hempfield, you know, the least penalized team has now been penalized. This will be their 5th penalty of the game, Josh.
So the penalty comes at 12:06. It's against Isaiah Forsyth for interference.
I feel like, too, that the Fighting Planets have had a lot of good opportunities in the second period, but come away with nothing thus far. But now back to the man advantage.
Power play chance number 4 for them in this game, and have not been able to hit yet. Tie up. Walking away with it is Mars behind the net. Play put on the cage.
Reimer was trying to wrap around a little bit.
Another penalty here as Coziera and Roach got mixed up. I think they're going to get Coziera for interference.
Yeah, so Roach going to the penalty box.
So it's on Mars. I saw Coziera and Roach get mixed up. I didn't know who they were going to call it on. It looked like they just kind of each got tied up, so they're going to give that one back over to Mars on the penalty side of things.
And with that penalty, Josh, that's the 10th penalty of this game through 2 periods.
Reimer walking in. Reimer, little do-si-do move, got a shot off. Hunter Reimer, nice little play.
Almost put it through the 5-hole on Faree.
Now walking in, Hannah, big drive.
But that was a close range blast by Hannah.
Just back on and Faree right there for it. .358 to play here in period number 2. 2-1 is the score. Mars in the lead. Now disagreement as Dennis Zaravicka, the head coach of Hempfield, not pleased, I think, with some of the penalty calls over here, and the officials having a long discussion here with him. Here's Finn, a big shot, but Finn can really tee it up. Like the Fulton Reed, he can really blast them, but kind of inaccurate. Now here's Gerger back. Finn applying defense, and Gerger shoots and scores.
I don't think Mitchell ever saw it.
I don't think so either. Gerger from the left wing circle finds the back of the net. What
Second
a shot
goal of the
by
game
Gerger.
for Gerger. I mean, that was a missile, and Mitchell never saw it. And I think Hudson Finn, the defender, kind of was shielding Mitchell completely, and give credit to Jared Gerger for putting it around Finn and past Mitchell. That's a tough shot to put on goal, too, particularly with the defender all over you. And some more discussion here from the Hempfield bench.
Yeah. Can't complain too much. You're up 3-1 if you're Hempfield.
Sure.
Now here is Hannah off the draw. Hannah walking in, getting a good shot off. Rebound attempt. That one saved again.
It's been a unique second period. Of course, Hempfield scoring 3 goals in this period. They were down 1-0 after the first, but just a lot of sloppy play, a lot of penalties. Neither team really can get any kind of like momentum going, because it seems like every few seconds we get a penalty called.
All right. Jared Gerger, his second, set up by Jacob Anderson and Trent Gray. Gray with his second assist of the game. Second of the period, in fact, as it's now 3-1, Hempfield in the lead.
So technically still 25 seconds. Trying to keep the penalties in order.
Oh, it's a low shot from the left side. Skips wide. Fans getting agitated as Trzynski goes down after it. Behind the net, Lipa. Lipa 1 point on the year. It was a goal. Stealing it is Konechka. Konechka left wing circle, and a whistle, I'm imagining, is another penalty. Going to the box is Lipa.
I didn't see the call on that one either.
I think it's a roughing call.
Okay.
Wait and get confirmation of that, but I believe that was the signal on the far side.
I'm pretty sure it's the second period. It said 2:45 left for the last 26 minutes.
Yeah, not what you want on a 9:15 start either. So Lipa.
What can I say? It's going to be a very tired homeroom.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning, particularly for Mars, who one of the fans pointed out they have a longer drive. So
yeah,
there you go.
True. That's true. Nick Lipa called with roughing. It is indeed the call. Reimer back with it. Oh, tried to dangle around a man. Intercepted now by Searcy. Will Searcy trying to rev it up. Leaves it off, and puck stolen away by Coziera. Coziera just blasted down the ice. Skating free is Roach. Patrick Roach into the left wing circle. Lets go of a good shot, and that one hit a stick perhaps and went just wide.
I think Roach was kind of surprised, Josh, that he went in uncontested.
Yeah.
Kind of stuttered step for a second. They would have put a decent shot on, but he almost was surprised that there was nobody around him.
Both teams by my count 0 for 4 on the power play. This the fifth chance here for Mars. And it's at the side of the net and frozen up. A lot of stoppages in play on top of all the penalties that have been called.
Is it possible to give the third star of the game to the penalty box? Has that ever been done?
It's been active. It's been in on a lot of plays.
I mean, we'll throw that out there for consideration.
He's always open, that penalty box. Off the draw. Puck left off to Hanna. Now Taylor with it. Good sliding play to intercept by Bardis. Anderson upended it in middle ice. Taylor with it. Offside they come. And another stoppage with 1:02 to play in the second. Well, the good news for you, Rennie, you can just go straight from here to work in the morning.
Yeah, really. My alarm's set for like 4 hours from now.
Just get an early
You just
start.
blew my cover. Like,
Yeah.
I have a little, like one of those airplane neck pillows I've been working on. No, I'm kidding.
Here's Newman. Newman down the left wing. He has the lone Mars goal. Has been the problem with Mars, though. I mean, defensively they haven't been great tonight, but they just have not been able to score and keep up. They've had plenty of chances. 4 power plays, now 5 power plays, in fact, in the books without a goal.
Let's also not forget, too, down 3-1, they had 2 significant shots on goal that hit post.
Walking out is Newman, poking in front, trying to jam at it, and staying on top, and now getting up with a shove is Taylor. 25 seconds to play. You're in this second period. A choppy game.
Yeah, for me, it feels like this game is like ready, like it's like this close to being just exploding with, between the penalties and the chippy play and the frustration that's abounding on the Mars side. It just has that kind of a feel to it right now, but hopefully it's nothing comes to fruition.
I got that sense about 3 minutes in that we were headed to that kind of game. I've seen enough high school hockey to kind of know early on how a game's going to be, and this one had physical and chippy, I guess is the best way to describe it. Time running out in the period, and a shot from the right side goes just wide. More players tied up here as Roach and Anderson are jawing back and forth right in front of the Hempfield bench, and don't think anything will come of that, but each team will go to their locker rooms as we are 34 minutes in. 3-1 is the score. Hempfield on top of Mars, 3-1 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Record-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
Check out the new Trib Live High School Sports Network on social media this season for breaking news, scores, pictures, videos, links to our articles, and more. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Trib Live HSSN. Get in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/Trib Live HSSN. And on our YouTube channel, you can find thousands of interviews with local student athletes and coaches, plus highlights and full games. The spot for Western Pennsylvania high school sports on social media this season is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hi, this is Josh Rowntree with the new Trib Live High School Sports Network's PIHL Power Play Show. This winter, myself and the coach, Kevin Zlomansky, will bring you the most comprehensive coverage of high school hockey in Western PA. Hey, Kevin, any suggestions on how we can pull it off?
We're not goons. We're not bullies. No matter what people say or do, we have to be ourselves.
Okay. Well, word is that you've been letting success go to your head a bit.
Hey, what I do is none of your business. Is that clear?
This should be a fun season. It's the PIHL Power Play Show every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game-used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of their largest selections of Penguins game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present, or call 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Hit the ice at Mount Lebanon Ice Center, offering the most comprehensive instructional programs in the area, including hockey, figure skating, and learn-to-skate classes for all ages and ability levels. Classes start soon along with senior and developmental hockey leagues. Mount Lebanon Ice Center also hosts Friday night teen skates and Friday after-school skates for younger children. Birthday party packages also available. Mount Lebanon Ice Center, serving the South Hills for more than 35 years. Call 412-561-4363 or go to mountlebanon.org.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Recor-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
For a weekly in-depth look at boys and girls high school basketball in the district, log on to the WPIHL Roundball Report every Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Join experts Chris Harlan, Sean Myers, and James Dotson for coaches' interviews and the latest hoops news around the WPIHL. Oh, and Don Rebel is back on the show as well. That's the WPIHL Roundball Report, Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Glad to be with you tonight here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network for this doubleheader in the PIHL, and happy to be back another season covering the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League as we do so as the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and a great start to the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. We had, I think, one of our best weekends of this young season this past weekend in the state championships in basketball. We also had the tip-off tournaments, the state championships in football, tip-off tournaments in basketball this past weekend. 3 WPIHL teams winning football championships out in Hershey. I was there to watch 2 of those wins, and Gateway, who came up short in their championship game as well. But it's been a great weekend, and more continuing this week as well, with Wednesday night basketball really getting going for the next couple of months, and we'll have some basketball coverage coming up. And then on Wednesday we will have a trio of shows for you, including a show to introduce the Trib 25 football team. And then we'll also have a show, the WPIHL Roundball Report, the basketball show. And that'll be followed by the PIHL Power Play show with myself and Kevin Zomanski on Wednesday. That'll be 8 o'clock for the hockey show at tribhssn.triblive.com. And little tip as a little birdie told me, expect a new website to be coming out soon as well. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. And again, it's the Trib 25 All-Star Football Team Show. It'll be 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Don Rebel, Sean Myers, Chris Harlan on that show. That same crew will then bring you the Roundball Report after that. And then myself and Kevin Zomanski will have the Power Play show, as we are at the end of 2 here at Kirk Nevin. And it's 3-1, Hempfield in the lead. This is how we got there. Back in the first period, pair of penalties, including one that was a coincidental minor situation, and would all eventually lead at the 10:45 mark to Sean Newman scoring a goal. Newman set up by Jared Taylor and Nick Kiefer. That made it 1-0. That's how we played to the end of 1. A lot of penalties thrown in during the mix here as well, none of which have been capitalized on, by the way, to this point. The 5:23 mark of the second period, Jared Gerger gets on the board. He hits the back of the net, made it 1-1, and then just 35 seconds later, Kane Mills gets the goal. Trent Gray on the assist. Gray, the slap shot, would be redirected right to Mills, the right side of the net. He would bury it 2-1 after 5:58 in the period. And then a slew of penalties, 5 of them, in fact, in a row, and all penalties killed. But then Jared Gerger gets his second of the game at the 13:20 mark. Jacob Anderson and Trent Gray with the assist. That would make it 3-1. Hempfield with the lead after 2 periods. Shots, if I can read this correctly, 14 for Hempfield, 19 for Mars. At this point, that they have it, I believe, backwards in the point streak site.
Yeah,
so
it is.
It's 19-14, Mars with the edge in shots, but Hempfield with the lead so far. And really, that second period, 3 goals for Hempfield, they were able to capitalize on opportunities. Didn't get a ton of scoring chances, but they were able to find the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first period, how it played out, and, Mars really came out strong in that first period, took a 1-0 lead. You thought they were really going to dictate the pace. But second period, I mean, I don't know if it got lost somewhere in all the penalties or, what have you. But, Mars had, good opportunities to score in the second period. But to your point, just came away with nothing. And, I thought Nolan Ferry played really well in the second period. I thought he made some pretty good saves, cut down on some really good angles that Mars was coming in strong on. So, and again, Jared Gerger, the leading scorer for Hempfield, took over the second period. The unassisted goal you had mentioned. We actually thought he was going to go off ice, I think, holding his head a little bit.
Right.
Ends up coming back on. The puck's right in front of him. He puts a shot past Danny Mitchell. And then that second goal was super impressive. He was actually blanketed by Hudson Finn and was able to put a shot not only past him, but Finn, his big body was shielding Mitchell, and he never saw the puck. And so Gerger netted his second on that. So, really it's been a tale of 2 periods. So we'll see what comes of the third. But, the first period belonging to the Fighting Planets, and then the Spartans just absolutely raced out in that second period and really down in shots, but took advantage of the opportunities that they had.
We are through 2 periods. 3-1 is the score. The puck drop of the third period coming up after these words right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
While the weather outside may be frightful, the winter high school sports is delightful. That's here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Log on to the Trib, hssn.triblive.com for weekly audio and video coverage of boys and girls high school basketball, WPIAL wrestling, and PIHL high school hockey. The warmth and the glow of the winter sports season may be heard daily on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Both teams back out on the ice as warm-ups are underway for period number 3. 3-1 is the score. Hempfield with the lead. The Spartans this year stand at 5-2-0-1. They had a shootout loss in there. Mars 5-5-0. And Rennie, you look at these standings now. AA divided into two divisions. There is the North/West division and the South/East division. Each one of these teams hails from each one of those divisions. The Northwest, where Mars is led by Quaker Valley right now and Armstrong, who each have 14 points. Hampton with 12, Mars and Pine Richland with 10 apiece, and North Hills 4, Montour 2. In the Southeast division, Franklin Regional on top with 13 points, Latrobe with 12. 11 points for both Hempfield and Shaler, then Upper St. Clair 10, Baldwin 8, and Penn Trafford with 6. Seems like the South/East maybe a little bit more competitive. I saw Latrobe the same night that you did out here, actually earlier in the year when you and Matt Vandriak did that game, and I was pretty impressed with Latrobe that night. I think they have a pretty good team. And on the other side, I saw Hampton. I've seen Hampton now a couple times. Impressed there. There's some quality teams, some really good depth in AA.
Yeah, absolutely. Greater Latrobe in particular, having seen them once before. And, you look at this game, Hempfield leading 3-1. How big of a win would this be in the standings? When you look at it, I mean, they would be right up there with Franklin Regional with 13 points. Conversely, for Mars, you don't want to get too far behind. You're already down 4 points up against Quaker Valley and Armstrong with 14 apiece. So, it's a very, very important game on both ends for each team.
And Mars has Quaker Valley and Armstrong again in the back half of their schedule. Back-to-back games, in fact. They are going to play them in January. And surprisingly, it's amazing to think we're at the halfway point as this shot's put on net by Anderson. But really, that's right about where we stand now is the halfway point. Here's a centering pass that's going to tip just wide as Trzynski was in there after it. Now it's banked back out towards center ice. Anderson comes back for it. He'll send it on around.
So I think, Josh, if you're Hempfield, you want to still stay aggressive. That's what gave you the lead in the second period. You don't want to just lean back and just play good defense and let Mars just kind of dictate the pace. I think that's a bad idea. But it looks like early on that Hempfield's going to actually continue to be the aggressor and pick up where they left off.
Puck sent ahead. Mars on the attack. Walking in is Hunter Reimer. But taken away from Reimer. And now after it's Roach. Roach trying to get rid of it. Did so to Nick Kiefer. Now it's dumped back out towards the center of the ice. Braden Hanna after it. Little one-handed chop of the puck. Now this puck all the way back down the smooth surface will let it go all the way to the cage, and covering up will be Danny Mitchell. 3 goals allowed to this point. Nolan Ferry the 1.
See Danny Mitchell cover up that puck with very profoundly
this is mine.
Nothing doing.
Pucciarelli banks it up the near side. Taylor with it. Taylor trying to toe drag around. Defender could not, as taking it away was Ethan Grant. Taylor digging away at it. Seen some good action right here tonight. As you're watching
literally
this,
right in front of us.
This area right here has seen its number of collisions. For some reason, this rink, more than any I can think of, plays that way, where you get a lot of collisions right in front of you here. I don't know why that is, but it's a trend.
I don't know. Maybe subconsciously because the crowd is
Could be.
right there. I have no idea.
Maybe I'm just imagining things. That's a strong possibility as well. Here's Coziera down the left wing, and they came in offside. And Coziera got tied up with Hannah and went spilling down to the ice.
Looked like Lander was offsides there for Hempfield.
Especially seen that, though, in this game. Gerger, a big part of these collisions on the near side. Hannah's been involved in some. We've seen Roach get pretty active. Physicality. Some bodies being thrown around for sure.
Really hasn't just been one guy for either team. It's been a physical game overall.
Puck got played to the high stick here and delayed touch up for Mars. 14:02 left. 3-1 is the score.
Mentioned in those standings, a win here from Hempfield, if they can hold on, would, for the time being, would push them into a tie for first place.
Yeah.
And again, if you're Mars, you really don't want to fall too much further behind those two teams sitting at the top with 14 points and Mars with 10.
And you look at it, I mean, nobody's really dominant.
No, it's very, a lot of parity between each conference.
Armstrongs look good, 7-1. They're tied for the lead in the North/West division, but they still have a loss. So,
yeah, so not definitely something you wouldn't call dominant.
Yeah, I think this field will play pretty darn open. Now coming back with it is Konechka. Konechka getting a shoulder shrug off. Now it comes free and a tap in just goes wide, and a mugging at the side of the net. As players got tied up, and I think right at the left side of the cage it was Bardis over there.
Is that Lipa?
It was. Lipa.
I think that was Lipa that had a golden opportunity.
And Bardis over there, two players just kind of mauling him as he was trying to hack away at that puck and put it in.
Thought maybe Lipa too, Josh, had a chance there as well, but
I have a feeling we are not free of the penalties quite yet.
We'll check back when there's about 5 minutes left.
Here is
if
Mills.
the score is the same.
Gerger going hard after it. Oh, Hannah ducked a check. Getting the worst of that was Kane Mills. Here's Taylor back with it. Taylor, a good shot and a blocker save made. I like Taylor's game. He's a nice player. This puck put back on. Kane Mills in after it behind his net. Finally, it's cycled back out of there. And Isaiah Forsythe, long pass ahead, but Trzynski not ready for it. And it goes long for an icing. No shortage of penalties, no shortage of stoppages here tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned Taylor, 3 goals on the year, 2 assists, 5 points in total. Very smooth skater. You see that in that last shot he put on goal, just really just walked right up and took a nice, good, clean shot. No wasted effort, no hesitation on his part.
Behind the net, to the side of the cage, backhand attempt. It comes back free, and now skating hard after it. It's Hempfield's Daniel Griffith. Not sure we've called his name much this evening, number 99.
I think this is the first action he's seeing tonight.
Digging away at it in the corner is Harley Obruchta.
Obruchta with that flowing mane coming out of the back.
Yeah.
That circa 90s hockey mullet. Have to love that. Of course, I say that not knowing what's on top of his head, but hey, whatever works. I'm pretty sure, though, if he takes his helmet off, I'm not going to see spiked hair.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Probably not in 2017.
Far side. Reimer.
So again, Josh, feels like Mars just can't really get any kind of continuity. There's not a whole lot of time in Hempfield's end to, kind of set up shop and do something. They've had some decent scoring chances, but really, not much consistency down there on that end. It's been more Hempfield, again, dictating, like they just picked up where they left off in the second period, really kind of dictating the pace of this game. Surprisingly, it feels like the Fighting Planets are the ones kind of hanging back a little bit. Maybe that's just because how Hempfield's been playing.
Here they are, Mars and Norris, a shot on net right into the big H on the front of the Spartans jersey.
And I think that's what Mars needs more of, Josh, are plays like that. Just walk in and take a shot. See if you can get a loose puck or a rebound or some kind of a scrum in front of the net. See if you can just put one in past Hempfield's goalie.
Early movement on the draw. This Will Cersei in there against Gerger.
I think Nolan Ferree really is that. What more could you ask of him right now at this point of the game?
Yeah,
I mean, he's done everything
saves.
as asked. He's turned back some really good attempts from Mars and just really played well.
Teammates have helped him out too, scoring three straight. Anderson back with it, brings it near side. Gerger saw it go by his stick. This is going to go on goal though, and having to play it is Mitchell.
Keep in mind, Ferree, too, giving up 3 goals a game on average, so he's really played well.
Roach, though, on the steal, tried to walk it through, got taken down. The tie up. Now Anderson back. 3-on-2 maybe if they hurry. Leaves it off for Gerger. Gerger, low shot, redirect back in front. Still the puck is free. Side of the net, rebound attempt, back out the slot, put on the cage, and it never made its way through.
That's some nice work, though, by Danny Mitchell, though, for Mars.
Gerger had a stick in the armpit and kept it as he skated up the ice. Oh, it's loose. It was the stick of Halbert, and then Halbert got ripped to the ground by Gerger. So the two number 61s going at it. Halbert not happy. He gives a shot to Anderson as he goes by, and boy, you're about to get a power play. And
yeah, that's a dumb move by Halbert.
You can't do that. Really, he's fortunate to not get called with that, and I think that's maybe what Hempfield's saying right now is he skated past our bench and shoved Anderson.
Sure.
Why is he not going off too? And Anderson wasn't even the guy that he was tied up with.
Well, you got Gerger in the penalty box, and that's a big loss for the Spartans, but I actually agree that probably should have been a penalty, just to gratuitously skate by and do that is, it's not something I would look away at.
Gerger's second penalty of the night.
I mean, we still have 10 minutes left to play.
Tons of time, yeah.
But I still think this is a pivotal power play down 2 goals.
Mars has struggled on the man advantage, not only tonight, but all season. They're 0 for 5 so far this evening. They gotta find the net, though, on one of these opportunities. Debris on the ice. Net guard, it looks like, as Reimer pokes it ahead. Far side, Coziera got bumped from behind by Cersei. They've done a good job on Cersei tonight. And now Roach comes in offside. And that's the type of play right there you just can't have. Bringing a puck in and you're on the power play and you just bring it ahead offside of everybody.
I mean, you have that man advantage, Josh. Why not just wait and set up shop and let everybody get onside before you bring it over? Good job there by Hempfield to clear the puck and really just controlling that puck at center ice, and Marsh just can't really get past a certain point against this Spartans defense.
Good play by Mitchell. Here's Newman. Newman dancing through the zone. Got a good shot off. It's directed to the corner. Now Hanna. Braden Hanna delaying and delaying some more. Finally goes behind the net. This is Newman. Newman looked to drop it off and fed to nobody. Now look out. Up ahead, here comes Bardis. Bardis trying to get in after it. Newman doing a good job of catching up. Oh, boy, they go hard into the end boards. And that was an awkward spill into the boards. Newman got tied up with Bardis, and Bardis went head first into the boards.
Yeah, Newman did a nice job of recovering on the play, but as they were falling, Newman landed on top of Bardis and really kind of just, for lack of a better term, rode him into the boards head first. So
that was a nasty collision to the left
Bardis
of the net.
looks like he's trying to get to his knees, and he has.
And that's good to see, at least, because a guy goes in and
goes
in head first. You fear the worst on plays like that, as we have seen all too real in the last week and a half of what we've seen on the football field of head first collisions and what they can do. You see a kid go in head first to the boards, and your heart just drops for a moment, but able to skate off, and I'm sure going to be checked out and run through all sorts of neck and concussion type protocols. It's good to see, though, him get off the ice. Matthew Bardis, who has 3 goals and 6 assists this year, and not pleased either as he comes off the ice to be having to come out of this game.
And that's a tough for Newman too, for Mars, Josh. I mean, he tried to make a good recovery on that play, and again, just those two just kind of got tangled up with each other, and Newman rode him into the board. So I doubt that was Newman's intent.
I don't think there was a penalty either. I thought it was a
good hustle and
a hard collision, but I don't think it's a penalty because they just sort of went to the ice together in a collision. It's an awkward spill. It looks bad, but
sure,
I don't think just because it looks bad it means that it's a penalty. Sometimes things like that just happen. There's a puck put towards the net. It hit something up high and almost trickled down towards the cage. Now a man shaking up from Mars. I got to blow this whistle down. It's 2 players down on the ice, and that is Cersei, who is down again. And they're going to, for the second time in 30 seconds, need to get somebody out on the ice. I think any type of issue with the head, they want to get that looked at right away. But Cersei's going to go to the bench, and he'll stay there. This game not for the faint of heart right now, as there's just under 8 minutes to play. Still 3-1.
Very tough, very rough, edgy game to watch. A lot of intensity, but you see the result of that.
Coziera here using the free hand to take down Hannah. Now they're tied up, and now a tussle. If you're Coziera here, you're up 3-1. He's one of the best players on the team, and really from outside of the circle all the way behind the net to the other side of the net, he was just riding Braden Hannah the whole way, had his arms wrapped around him, and Hannah's going to go to the box, as is Coziera here.
Well, and this game has a feel to it. We talked about this, that very chippy, very aggressive from both teams, but let's hope, the officials make it so that it doesn't get out of hand.
Right.
Again, I'm sure Hempfield's not happy, watching one of their players come off the ice, and, but they got to collect themselves and finish this game off.
Those were roughing coincidental minors. The sounds of it out the side of the net. Gerger, boy, Gerger, good look there. Now a turnaround attempt. They went just wide. But Gerger has some skill in a phone booth, doesn't he? He can just turn around and whip that puck in a hurry. Here he is again as he puts one over, and then right on the doorstep, nearly a tap-in goal for Trzynski. Look out, though. Here's Taylor back the other way. Taylor, left wing circle, throws one towards the cage and sticked out of there. Nicely done by Faree. Up ahead, here's Gerger. Gerger trying to get around. It should have been a hook, not called. Now Taylor throws Gerger into the end boards, and then Taylor gets tripped up on Gerger. This game's taking somewhat of an ugly turn.
Yeah, this is what you're afraid of happening, just things just getting out of hand to some degree, but that was Gerger that grabbed Jared Taylor around the left leg as he fell down face first. So Hempfield will have
Gerger to the box. Now big hit on Reimer by Anderson. Holding is the call. So
Josh,
Gerger back to the box.
In this situation, when Hempfield leading by 2, why not just try to rise above it?
Right.
And not that I'm saying that it's all Mars, but, just you're up 2, get out of here with a win. Just, look the other way to some respect.
Yeah, you have to be more disciplined than this. Now, Mars, yet again, a chance on the power play. This puck, though, played with a high stick and not really needed. But Mars, if they can't convert here, they will be 0 for 7 on the power play.
And that's what really, if Hempfield hangs on to win, that would really be the storyline coming out of this, other than the penalties and the play from both teams in that respect. But, going 0 for 7 on the power play, you rarely see teams recover and win having done that. And, of course, let's not look past Nolan Faree either. He's particularly in this third period, has played exceptionally well. Hasn't faced a ton of shots, but what he has faced, he's turned back nicely.
Finn with a shot, rebound attempt on the backhand, another attempt, and it goes just wide for Kiefer. Kiefer had a point-blank look and looked like he couldn't get the stick on it to get it towards the net.
He either couldn't get the stick on or he just couldn't decide he wanted to pull the trigger at the right time.
If he had, I think he finds the back of the
absolutely.
net, and it's 3-2.
Faree was way out of position on that, but still nothing doing for Mars.
This puck swooped back out of danger by the penalty killer Konechka. Hempfield killing just under 71% of their penalties coming into tonight. It's not a great mark, but they're facing just a totally inept man advantage right now. Can Mars change that? Swat at this one. Turnaround shot goes wide. This puck bounced over to Reimer. Reimer side of the cage. Still, he goes after it. That is Gerger back out after the penalty. The penalty over. Mars 0 for 7 on the man advantage. Boy, you think about it. You just hit on 2 of them. 2 of 7. It's not even a really that great of a mark, but if you hit on 2 of 7, this is a tie game. 0 for 7, though.
I'd say, Josh, aside from
this puck up into the tinfoil ceiling here of Kirk Nevin.
I was going to say, aside from that last power play from Mars, which actually generated some decent shots on goal, they've been relatively quiet in terms of being able to set up and get some good scoring chances on those 6 other attempts.
Shot through front of the cage, goes wide. Under 4 minutes to play. Hempfield still holding on to this 3-1 lead. They have had it since the 13:20 mark of period number 2. Now, Trzynski. Maybe a 2-on-1 here with Gerger. Trzynski going to keep it. Good shot on. They have hit the mask of the netminder in Mitchell. And Mitchell a bit slow, groggy as he gets back up to his skates.
Yeah, you could hear the crack of the puck off of his mask and kind of reverberate through the whole arena here.
We talk about the jobs that officials do, oftentimes with a lot of criticism. Good job by the official to make sure that he looked. Oh, as this puck goes in! Hit something on the way through. I think Kosiera got a touch on it last, and it finds the back of the net, and it's 4-1.
Yeah, I think Kosiera did get just enough of it, Josh, for that redirect. Past Mitchell, went right over his left shoulder. Looked like Mitchell had a pretty decent eye on the puck. But if Kosiera gets credit for the goal, which seems like that's the case, that was the difference maker. That just little bit of a touch, little bit of a redirect. And with that goal, I think Hempfield pretty much sealed the deal.
I think Connor Lawrence got one of the assists. But I could not hear the goal score. I think it was Kosiera, though. That's how it looked. It looked like his stick got up and
I think they may have gave Kane Mills an assist as well.
Okay.
Take a look here.
Puck dumped in by Lander. Under 3 to play, now 4-1. Now here's Kosiera again. Tried to feed one side of the net. Still free. Oh, and then just a brutal cross check from behind. And Mars going to the box. I think it was Hanna. Braden Hanna back to the box.
That fourth goal from Hempfield officially given to Nicholas Kosiera, assisted by Connor Lawrence and Trent Gray.
That's the third assist for Gray.
Sounds like somebody's bucking for star of the game.
Yes.
Maybe just edging out that penalty box the very last minute.
Here's Gerger.
So that silly, unnecessary penalty pretty much with 2:25 to play and about 1:30 left on the power play for Hempfield pretty much sealed it for Mars.
Here is Gray now looking for a goal. Here Gray, backhander. That one stick down in front. Well, Hempfield on the power play is 0 for 4.
Yeah, certainly not a banner night for the Spartans with the man advantage.
And teams combine in 0 for 11, and now another penalty taken.
Why not?
And this will be Roach to go at the 15:06 mark.
Well, that is the 17th penalty in this game.
Well,
so aside from I think the teams were too busy getting penalized and not focusing enough on their power play, which was collectively 0 for 11 between the two teams.
And a chance to become even worse. If Hempfield doesn't score, it'll be a combined 0 for 13, the two power plays. But Hempfield doesn't seem to mind. They have 90 seconds to go. And really, as it's a 5-on-3 for the majority of that, they will be able to just skate out the clock here, it seems. They'll bring it ahead, as this is Nick Lippa on the ice. Maybe a chance to get somebody a look at the net that doesn't score a ton. Big collision. Stepping free and shooting one. It's a save made on Isaiah Forsyth by Danny Mitchell. 65 seconds to play as we tick down to a minute to go. Going to be a good win for Hempfield.
Yeah, the 6th win of the season for the Spartans. And again, that'll push them temporarily into a tie for first with Franklin Regional.
Franklin Regional, I believe, in action tonight. So they will have a chance maybe to negate that. As there's a shot from the left side by Lippa that's gloved with 33 seconds to play.
It looks like Franklin Regional won 5-3 over Quaker Valley.
Big matchup there.
Quaker Valley, of course, one of the two teams leading that Northwest side.
That's a matchup of the two division leaders, Quaker Valley and Franklin Regional. Of course, you throw Armstrong in there as well, tied for a lead. This puck's cleared all the way back down with 30 to go.
Just a quick note on that Franklin Regional win over Quaker Valley, Josh. They trailed 3-2 going into the third period and scored 3 goals in the final period to take that victory.
Wow. Impressive win. A very good team for Franklin Regional. Skating free with it is Taylor. Puck comes free to the near side. 2 seconds left, one, and that will do it. 4-1 the final score, 23-21 the final shots on goal. As Hempfield, an impressive victory here tonight on their home ice. The 3-goal win over Mars puts the Spartans to 6-2-0-1 on the year. Mars now 5-6-0-0. It's now a 5-game losing streak for the Fighting Planets. We'll be back in a moment to wrap it up here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Trib Live has a little something for everyone. Sports from high school to the pros. News from across the street and around the world. Arts and entertainment, lifestyles, opinion, weather, photo galleries, video. You can even find your next job, house, and car. So look alive, Pittsburgh, and get the news you want and information you need all in one place. TribLive.com. TribLive.com. News and more 24/7.
Hi, this is Josh Rowntree with the new Trib Live High School Sports Network's PIHL Power Play Show. This winter, myself and the coach, Kevin Zlomansky, will bring you the most comprehensive coverage of high school hockey in Western PA. Hey, Kevin, any suggestions on how we can pull it off?
We're not goons. We're not bullies. No matter what people say or do, we have to be ourselves.
Okay. Well, word is that you've been letting success go to your head a bit.
Hey, what I do is none of your business. Is that clear?
This should be a fun season. It's the PIHL Power Play Show every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Well, as is sometimes the case, we will, I believe, have post-game penalties doled out here as some sort of incident. I didn't catch quite what it was in the handshake line, but what we do know is that Hempfield wins by a 4-1 final, an impressive victory tonight for the Spartans. Let's recap the scoring, then we'll get you the Trib Live 3 stars of the game as well. It's going to be a Spartan-heavy one, I would think. But this game started with a Mars goal, 10:45 into the game. Sean Newman, after a pair of coincidental minors were called, Sean Newman would find the back of the net. Jared Taylor and Nick Kiefer with the assist, and that would make it 1-0. We'd play that way till the end of the first, and then at the 5:23 mark of the second, Jared Gerger, his first of the game. That would tie it at 1. And it was an unassisted goal, and it would be followed 35 seconds later as Trent Gray took a shot from the left point, redirected to Kane Mills, and Mills tapped it home to make it 2-1 Hempfield. It would play that way for another 8 minutes-ish, and Jared Gerger would get his second. Jacob Anderson and Trent Gray with the assist. Gerger, his second of the game, and his 12th of the year, would make it 3-1 after 2 periods of play. And then we go to the third, and during all this, a ton of penalties taken along the way as well. But we get to the third period, and at the 13:31 mark, Nick Coziera from Connor Lawrence and Trent Gray. Gray, his 3rd assist of the game. You're going to hear his name again in a moment. That would make it 4-1, and that's how the final score would look. And for Mars, 0 for 7 on the power play. Hempfield 0 for 6 on the man advantage. And boy, the power plays were not good looking tonight, and the penalty kills were sharp for sure. But I think at the end of the day, Hempfield, thanks to that big second period in which they scored 3 goals, that really is the difference in what was a very physical, chippy kind of hockey game.
Yeah, and really, the second period really was the pivotal point for the Spartans. But, Josh, they really extended that into the third period, I think, just really being the team that dominated. They were the aggressor. I'm not really sure, in looking back, what happened to Mars in the first period. They came out just racing.
Right.
And, they took that early 1-0 lead, and you thought maybe, again, we talked about, they can't remember the last time they had a 4-game losing streak. Thought maybe they were going to snap that, just how that fast start that they had to start this game. But Hempfield weathered that initial storm from the Fighting Planets and was able to come out with a big victory. And we talked about it as well. That really sits Hempfield in a good spot now in their conference. They're with the win, they have 13 points. Of course, Franklin Regional, we had mentioned at the tail end of the broadcast, they were also victorious over Quaker Valley, so they sit at 15. Greater Latrobe is idle, so Hempfield leapfrogs the Wildcats into second place, just behind the Panthers.
Well, they've turned the lights out on us, so I guess
they don't mess around here.
Their way of telling us to get out of here.
This is how Nevin rolls.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll oblige. But we do have some business to take care of first. The Trib Live 3 stars of the game.
The
number 3 star tonight for Hempfield, their goaltender, Nick Ferry. Didn't have to do a ton, made 22 saves, but made a couple of key ones, particularly during that second period in which they were able to score 3 times. He is your number 3 star of the game. And the number 2 star with 3 assists.
Penalty block?
Maybe.
No, I'm kidding.
Honorable mention.
4th star.
Yes, honorable mention tonight goes to the penalty box. The number 2 star, though, Trent Gray, 3 assists for the Hempfield defenseman. And the number 1 star of the game with 2 goals, Jared Gerger. He got the first goal for Hempfield to tie it. He also got the third one as well, a 2-goal night for Gerger, who now leads them with 12 goals and 18 points on the season for Gerger, as he is your number 1 star of the game. For Mars, up next, it will be a game at home against Penn Trafford on December 18th. That's 1 week from tonight. They are now 5-6-0-0 on the year. On the other side for Hempfield, it will be a matchup at Upper St. Clair, and that will be a week from tonight as well on Monday. The Spartans moving to 6-2-0-1 on the year. They keep pace now, as we found out with Franklin Regional winning earlier. Hempfield still 2 points back in the South/East Division. We'll talk about all this, standings, this game, and more on the PIHL Power Play Show Wednesday night, 8 o'clock on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Thanks so much to Chelsea Rowntree for her help filming. For Rennie Detore, I'm Josh Rowntree saying goodnight from Kirk Nevin Ice Arena in Greensburg. The final score tonight, Hempfield 4, Mars 1. You heard it right here, as always, only on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Hi, this is Josh Rowntree.
You have been listening and watching PIHL High School Hockey on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, sponsored in part by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlow University, by Dollar Bank, by AstroTurf, by Chick-fil-A Robinson, by WQED, and by Trib Total Media. You can follow the PIHL High School Hockey season by logging on every day to www.tribhssn.triblive.com. The preceding has been a special presentation of the PIHL and Trib Live High School Sports Network.